Triple H brought back everybody in their dreadlocks for a reunion tour gone wrong in the Triple H era. Just about every Triple H rehire is struggling for various reasons, whether it's bad booking or injury. People were furious when Vince McMahon snapped his finger like Thanos and made half the roster disappear. But now that Triple H has revived select indie darlings and the underutilized, I don't see any of these niggas lighting the world on fire. Don't get me wrong, the Triple H era, a term we'll use loosely, has slapped, but it hasn't been perfect. Everybody has a weakness. For Tony Khan, it's storytelling, leadership, and the culture. For Vince McMahon, it's continuity, women, and taking the Stone Cold Stunner, among other things. For me, sometimes I'm just too sexy for my own good. And for Triple H, roster selection appears to be his Achilles heel. Can we just admit that despite being a very good booker, Triple H doesn't have Vince McMahon's eye for talent? To be fair, does anybody? In fact, Vince's eye for talent seems to be the last thing to leave him. He doesn't always get it right, but lest we forget, Vince picked Bianca, and Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins, and on and on and on. The dirt sheets love to serve up raw meat to the internet wrestling community with these reports that Vince McMahon is backstage. Oh no, Vince is back? Where? Hide your scripts because Vince is back! Oh God! Oh, the humanity! These reports trigger the Pavlovian IWC to where if anything shitty happens on the show, they'll have a scapegoat. People aren't gonna want to hear this, but Triple H and Vince McMahon actually make a pretty damn good team. They complement each other perfectly. Triple H is a Bill Belichick to Vince McMahon's Bill Parcells. Parcells was great at identifying which players should be on the team, shopping for the groceries as it were, while Bill Belichick was always the X's and O's guy who could fill in the blanks with day-to-day details. Vince McMahon in the GM role with Triple H booking the show plays to both of their strengths, and dare I say it makes WWE a better product. When Vince has all the power and is booking the product every day, it goes to shit with nonsensical storylines and a lack of patience in developing undercard characters and angles. On the flip side, Triple H is an excellent booker, but when asked to pick the talent, my man's been struggling. The Triple H era is almost 1 year old, and in the Triple H era, what talent that wasn't a star under Vince McMahon has become a star under Triple H? I'll wait, because there is an answer to this question, and the answer is almost LA Knight. But even he was brought to the main roster under Vince McMahon, though Vince did sour on him quickly. Other than that, Triple H hasn't revamped the product as much as he's just done a better job putting Vince's handpicked stars in a better position to succeed. A lot of that was already happening with the bloodline before Vince was yeeted out of his chair. In fact, let's go through some of the talent Vince let go of and Triple H brought back to see if any of them have had a better second life. Kross was ruined by Vince McMahon, and now he's just there. He's not bad. He's actually pretty good in the ring and has a good presentation. People just don't care yet. It's Triple H's job to make them care, and he's not doing a very good job of that. Kross was one of the first big splashes of the Triple H era after Kross pulled up on Drew McIntyre on SmackDown. Since then, Karrion Kross has settled into a role as a setup guy, which was about where he was back when he had to dress like an extra on 300. Bray Wyatt was rolled out masterfully. Triple H did a great job building interest in Wyatt's return to where ratings skyrocketed for his teases. Then Bray Wyatt came back, had one match, and now he's gone again. A lot of people, myself included, lashed out at Vince McMahon when he cut Bray. They couldn't believe it. Then Papa H brought him back, and not only was Bray not able to compete at WrestleMania, he brought Bobby Lashley down with him. Bobby still hasn't recovered. In fact, where is Bobby? Is disappearing off TV contagious? It looks like Bray is on his way back, and I hope he's better than ever, but before Bray left, his storylines were no better than they were when he nosedived as The Fiend in 2021. Hit Row was Lit Row down in NXT when Triple H was in charge, so the fact that they're floundering on the main roster under Triple H is so bizarre to me. Michael Cole has a hard-on for Top Dollar. Whenever Top Dollar is on TV, it's the only time we see traces of the heel Michael Cole from 2011, who sucked on commentary and was more interested in getting himself over than the talent. All because Top Dollar screwed up a dive? Instead of giving him a makeup spot like they did Braun Strowman and Ricochet, they roasted him about it. Is that how we build stars? Dexter Lumis was great with Indy Hartwell in NXT, but has flopped on the main roster to this point. In fact, The Way, minus Austin Theory, haven't done much of anything on the main roster. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae were brought in as free agents by Triple H, and despite being top stars in NXT, the best thing they could come up with for Johnny was to make him a snitch. Candice LeRae is being stalked by Nikki Cross, and they still ain't paid that off yet. Tommaso Ciampa was another pet project of Triple H, but he disappeared off television due to injury. Injuries have plagued multiple Triple H era rehires like Dakota Kai and Braun Strowman get well soon. Legado del Fantasma was called up under Triple H, and even after rebranding them as the LWO and selling a ton of merchandise, they lose matches more often than John Morant will lose playing time this year. By the way, anybody seen Tegan Nox lately? Good Brothers came back, then Good Brothers went back after AJ Styles' injury. Now they're back again as the OC with another Triple H rehire in Mia Yim, and they're there. They're definitely there. You could put Valhalla in that same category too. Triple H's batting average with pet projects is about the same as the number of AEW Collision tickets sold this week. He's batting 100, as in .100. A year is a perfectly good sample size to analyze something like this, but I saw all the stars Triple H was able to make in NXT, so I know he has it in him. Io Sky, Bronson Reed, and LA Knight are 3 candidates to be the first stars Triple H can make by himself. But he may be on borrowed time, because after WWE sold to Endeavor, roster cuts are inevitable. To borrow a phrase from a struggling Triple H rehire, TikTok. Check out this video about Jade Cargill's loss and subscribe. Who's been the most disappointing reclamation project? Tell me in the comments!